Hello, my name is Jaden Weller, and I'm going to talk to you about Uber. So, a little history behind Uber is that it was founded in 2009 by Garrett Camp and Travis Kalanick. So, Travis actually had this idea after he hired a private driver for New Year's Eve that cost him over $800, which is definitely very excessive. So, he pondered the question, what if you could request a ride from your phone? And that's what led to the idea that eventually created Uber. One thing is that Uber was originally called Uber Cab, but after some protests from cab drivers, they dropped the cab and just became Uber. Another point that I thought was very interesting is that Uber started only offering Black luxury cars, and that was up until 2012 when they launched Uber X, which expanded that target market and allowed for people to actually use their own personal cars to drive and pick people up, which is a lot of the Uber that we know today. So just like any other company, Uber has had to innovate and evolve with the emerging technologies, with some competition. So they launched Uber Eats, a delivery service in 2014. And additionally, they actually acquired Postmates in 2020 at the height of the pandemic when food delivery services were at its peak. Uber also went public on May 9th, 2019. However, it was very, very hyped. A lot of people were really excited when Uber decided to go public. This eventually led to one of the biggest first day dollar losses in IPO history, which leads me to my next point that Uber is not afraid of any controversy. They have had additionally a lot of failed business ventures as well. One thing that stood out to me was Uber wanting to be a technology company versus a taxi company. So taxi companies, if you didn't know, have to have a lot of additional regulations in certain cities. And if Uber qualifies as a technology company, they do not. And a lot of taxi companies have protested this idea because Uber is essentially a modified taxi business. So there's still that debate going on, and Uber has left a lot of cities that have overturn their idea of being a technology company. Just like any successful business that has a great idea, there's going to be competition. So Lyft launched in 2012 with the idea of being more for the everyday person, the everyday ride. So if you see that date, they launched in 2012, which is the same year that Uber X, the cheaper option, launched for Uber. So I'm obviously talking about Uber right today. So why was it successful? One thing that's really, really important for a successful business is being user friendly. The app, I believe, is very user friendly. It's very easy to use. It's easy to request a ride. You can also track your driver. So there's also that safety there that you feel secure in your ride. Additionally, there's that transparent upfront pricing that the taxi industry definitely does not have any. If you're in a taxi, you just see the ticker keep going up and up. But before you even request a ride, Uber gives you the price so you know exactly how much you're going to be paying. So one concept that we have discussed in class is the idea of creative destruction. And I do believe that Uber has caused that for the taxi industry. I mean, just looking out on the roads in major cities, you definitely do not see a lot of taxis now. There's a couple exceptions like New York City, some international cities, but overall, Uber has definitely caused the taxi industry to decline, which has led to a lot of taxi driver protests, like I discussed a little bit earlier about how they do not have to follow those regulations. So, and finally, I think that Uber is definitely a big C idea. They were a breakthrough innovation that caused destruction to the taxi industry. They've completely transformed the transportation industry and added that extra security that a lot of people needed. Thank you.